Still I rise or whatever. Take 3 or 4, 7. I don't know. I am having a time recording today, but I am stubborn and this means war and I must conquer all electronic things. So here I am. I recorded earlier. It sounded like booty and it's my reputation on the line and I'm absolutely not uploading booty audio. So I'm re-recording. This is take 3 because take 2, nobody could hear me. Oh my goodness. Hi, hello, how are you? Is anybody following anyone doing Vlogmas? Vlogmas is like this thing that people on YouTube and other like digital media does where they it's like a daily vlog, video blog, like 10 minutes. And it's December 1st through the 25th. A bunch of people on YouTube usually do Vlogmas, and I follow a bunch of people who do Vlogmas, but I don't often see writers or readers or Black people in general doing it. I know Dee Dee Brown Girl Reading is doing it, and I was like, oh, I should do Vlogmas. Like every year I have this bright idea to do Vlogmas, but then I'm like, what are you going to vlog? Vlog what, girl? Because you don't be leaving the house. I don't leave the house unless I have to go to work or Wendy's. I don't go to the gym. I don't really hang out with friends. I like being in the house. And so what am I going to vlog? Me sitting in this room all day? I get up, I shower, I dress and make coffee, I work, and then I undress and I sit down and read or I write. I don't do anything. Vlog what? Girl, please. Anyway, welcome to episode 65 of the Bookcast. This is my platform for sharing short fiction and updates on what I'm reading and writing. I am D.L. White. I'm author of 12 contemporary Southern and romantic fiction novels featuring Black men and women. I'm also a fan fiction writer. I think I'm up to like 27 stories. And a lover of books. We usually begin with the book report and then we talk bookish news and I talk about the holiday short that I am working on in the writing update. If you love this independent, Black writer-owned and operated podcast and would love to show your support, I would welcome it. Please visit my support site and buy me a coffee or 3 at buymeacoffee.com/booksbydlwhite. There you can offer a one-time or recurring monthly gift, and I would be most grateful for that. The other way you can support me is to buy my books. Booksbydlwhite.com/books has all of my titles available in whatever format I have them in, ebook, print, audio. They are there. Purchasing directly from me at my store puts the monies directly into my pocket and not 60 days from now. We really like that so much. If you prefer to buy them retail, ain't no shame in your game. That is not a problem. My books are not for sale anywhere. I don't want them to be. All of my titles are available wherever ebook and print are sold online. They're also available via subscription sites like Everand, which is the new name for Scribd, Kobo Plus, Spotify, and your local library through Libby or Hoopla, so snatch them up. You can also buy them in print at Resist Booksellers or bookshop.org. Books on sale this month. Hey Lover is free at select retail sites and at my store, payhip.com/booksbydlwhite or booksbydlwhite.com/hey-lover has the links that you need. Tap the bar at the top of the page on PayHip and it will link up to a blog site where I added all my links where books are for sale. Alternatively, you can go to any retail site except for Amazon. It is not free there yet to grab that book. It's a new month. So your Spotify listens also renew. Head on over to pick out a new audiobook or 3 to listen to. Remember, it's 15 free hours a month if you are a Spotify premium subscriber. Take advantage of that before they take it away. All of my books are up on Spotify. So if you haven't heard them in audio and you haven't bought it at my website and you haven't listened to them at Audible and you haven't listened to them at Global Plus and you haven't listened to them on Scribd, then I mean, where have you been? But say this is the first time listening to me and you didn't know I had audiobooks out. If you're a premium subscriber at Spotify, you can snatch them up there. I think the longest book I have is 11 hours. Brunch at Ruby's, I think, is an 11-hour audiobook, and the rest of them are considerably shorter than that. So you can listen to a whole book by D.L. White basically for free if you subscribe to Spotify Premium. Stay tuned for Stuff Your E-Reader and All Black Book Affair events coming up later in December. If you are an author and you want to participate, you need to reach out to Zoe York for Stuff Your E-Reader. The deadline was yesterday, but you might be able to squeeze in there. All Black Book Affair, I think also the deadline was yesterday. I have no idea. I have no information on that at all, but I think it's coming up December 15th. Reach out to the Black AF Book Club for details on the All Black Book Affair. Author Zoe York has info on your Stuff Your E-Reader. So check out information on participating in that. If you are a reader, I will have links for you as those events approach. So let's get going. Today we'll start with the book report as always. Then I am talking about my holiday short, and I want to dip a little into my publishing BFFs, just a brief blush over some tools that I use to write and publish. One of them's on sale. So I thought I may as well talk about the ones that I use the most. So that'll be at the end of today's episode. Today is Saturday, December 2nd. It is 11:37 a.m. I'm very, very, very behind. Like, I've drank all my coffee. That's how behind I am. It is rainy and gray in Atlanta. So that means I will be burning a candle and spending some close personal time with Tangi May Kindle today. I have a mic and I am ready to dig in. Do I have any coffee? I have a little bit of coffee, but it's cold. So should we break for coffee? Let's break for coffee. All right, I finished my coffee. I hope you enjoyed your little sip. You guys, I am a sucker. I'm a sucker. I have if you put NSYNC on something, I'm probably going to buy it, which is why I have to stay off Etsy. I'm drinking coffee out of my NSYNC mug, and it is a reunion themed mug. It's one of those things where people have drawn them and they kind of don't have faces, but you can see like JC's like Unabomber aviator glasses. Lance is looking particularly adorable. It is such a cute mug. I absolutely love it. I drink coffee out of it every day, but I like I have my Yeti mug where I keep the coffee warm and I pour from the Yeti mug into the NSYNC mug, and then I keep that on my little warmer thing. I'm an absolute sucker. If you put NSYNC on it, I would probably buy it. But I love my mug, and I'm looking at my NSYNC Funkos, and behind me I have my NSYNC Little People set, and also my NSYNC bobbleheads, and also these dice that were on sale on the website. You're supposed to like put them in your car, but they're huge. You can't see around them, so they are sitting on my desk with my NSYNC mug. Let's begin, as always, with the book report because I am a book head. I have read 166 books of my challenge to read 175 books this year. I am 6 books ahead on my Goodreads challenge. I will more than meet my challenge goal. I will likely exceed it since I'm going to pivot to holiday romances in December, and those are like, they're so short. I could read like 3 or 4 of them a day and not be tired of them. So I will absolutely exceed that goal. So I'm very excited. We'll talk later in the year, I guess closer to January 1st, about the Goodreads goal, and people are going to be all stressed out about meeting it or beating it. I mean, go ahead and change the goal. The thing is not set in stone. You can absolutely change it. Like if your goal was 125 and you only read 120, change your goal to 120. Like, there's not a council that's watching people and making sure they read the exact number of books that they said they were going to read. The goal is changeable. It's editable. Change the goal. Like, it's supposed to be fun. Don't make it harder than it is. Anyway, I read 6 books this week. They were very good reads. I had a very good reading week despite having a very, very busy week. I read Remember the Time, A Thanksgiving Short by Aubreé Pynn. I feel like there's a lot of sex in it. Sometimes I read a book and it's like, is there a story here, or is it just a vehicle for a sex scene that you wanted to write? Not shading Aubreé at all because her pen be penning, but I feel like this was a Shorty McShort short and a lot of it was sex. But anyway, I still read it. Birthday Girl by Brandy Bush was an erotic novel. It's an erotic short. Brandy Bush is the erotic pen name for Katrina Jackson. Katrina writes contemporary romance. Brandy Bush writes erotica. Birthday Girl was erotica. I'm not allowed to read Brandy Bush on days that end in Y because I feel like I need a cigarette and I don't even smoke. It was a steaming hot read. If that's what you are in the mood for, you should definitely head on over to Brandy Bush and read that. I also read 3 Day Weekend by Kianna Alexander. This was a sapphic romance. It was an okay read. I don't think it was her first sapphic romance, but it was okay read. She writes like contemporary romance. I think she has some Kimani or Harlequin romances out there. I think this is like her first or second sapphic romance. It was a little simplistic to me, but also it was a short, so I don't think it was meant to be like complicated and all drawn out. I read it. I read The Stubborn Kind by Jessica Terry. She and I are going to fight. I wanted to divorce everybody in this book. Like the characters, like when you're reading it and you're yelling at your Kindle is like when you know you're deep into it. I want to divorce everybody in this book. Everybody was terrible. I need everybody to go to their room. As often when I read a Jessica Terry book, I want everybody to go to their room and think about what they've done. This book, like her books, like really like draw you in and then like leave you in there. Like send me a lifeline. This does have a very satisfying ending. If you want to read a book where you are yelling at your Kindle, pick up The Stubborn Kind by Jessica Terry. I also listened to Kinfolk by Sean Dietrich. I think that's how you pronounce his name. This was a very excellent novel. It's like a small town drama series. Is it a crime fiction? I think it's more a literary fiction. It's very good. The author reads his own audio, and that's not something that I always recommend. I read the Never List for this bookcast. Never again. It was hard. It was really, really difficult. And I'll probably never read a full length novel for the bookcast ever again. I mean, never say never, but I do not intend to read my own books. I don't have an audiobook kind of voice, but Sean Dietrich has an audiobook voice. Thoroughly, thoroughly enjoyed this novel. I also listened to A Steele for Christmas by Miss Brenda Jackson. It was excellent. It was a great way to kick off holiday. Pardon me. It was a great way to kick off my holiday seasonal reading. I am reading A Promise Kept by author Anissa Garcia. She is a friend of a friend of a friend. I heard her on an NSYNC podcast. She is a friend of the band and also an author, and she had some books she published, the Promise series back in 2016. It wasn't quite the way she wanted to publish them, so she took them down and rewrote them, and she is re-releasing them. The first one released on November 30th. It's called A Promise Kept. I'm about 25% in. I don't read a whole lot of white romance, so it is going a bit slow, but I am committed. I am reading it. She did mention that Chris Evans was an inspiration for this novel, and as I'm reading it, I see it. I do enjoy some Chris Evans. I have a funny story is, I did not know him. Like I knew his face and I knew his name, but I didn't know that face with that name until, 2019, I think, when Knives Out came out. And I'm not a movie girly. I don't really do movies. So I've never seen a Marvel movie. I've seen very few movies that everyone else has seen. I don't see much until it comes to streaming. And then like my span of attention doesn't really extend to movies. Anyway, my friend talked me into going to see Knives Out because I love Jamie Lee Curtis and I love Toni Collette. Love, love, love. So I was like, oh, Toni Collette is in it. Yeah, I'll go see it. And the character Ransom Drysdale, I think that's his name, is played by Chris Evans. I don't know Chris Evans. I don't know that face. I know the face. I don't know the name, Chris Evans. Again, I've never watched Marvel. Captain America is played by some dude. No clue. So I watched it. It was fantastic. I loved him as Ransom. And Ransom is like a jerk. Like, if you've never seen Chris Evans play a jerk before. So, I loved the movie. I came back, I hopped on Twitter and I said, whoever played Ransom in Knives Out is a cutie. Everybody jumped all over me because I didn't know like, what are you talking about? That's Chris Evans. It's Captain America. How do you not know Chris Evans? I didn't. I'm sorry. I didn't. I'm not a movie girly. I didn't know. Anyway, I have been following one Chris Evans ever since. I know who he's married to. I know all the girlies are very upset that he recently got married. I really don't give a care. I'm not trying to marry the dude. I'm just trying to watch him in movies. He did like a limited series for Apple TV called Defending Jacob. I think it was so good. He was really, really good in that. I enjoy him. Also, I like Ben Affleck on screen. I like Matt Damon on screen. Like, I might not like them in person, but dang good acting. Anyway, back to books. I'm also listening to A Snow Place Like Home by Lacey Baker. This is another like a small town holiday romance. I am all over it. And okay. I know I said I was going to stop reading Minka Kent, but here's what happened. She released a new book called After Dark, and it looks really good and it has good ratings. And so it's in Kindle Unlimited for audio and ebook. And so I went ahead and downloaded it. And so next week when I come back and I'm like, just ignore me. If it's terrible, just ignore me. But I'm going to try it. Writing update. Last week I released a cover reveal and sample Sunday for Home for the Holidays, which is my next project. It's a Potter Lake small town romance novella. Check my blog. It's booksbydllwhite.com/blog for that. My goal is about 30,000 words. We'll see if I'm going to be able to stay within that. I'm already at 20K and I'm only at chapter 7. So read into that as you will. Last week I was at 12,000 words. This week I'm at 20,000 words. So I had a very good writing week. My goal is about 12 chapters max. I'm really trying to keep it simple. As a reminder, my characters are Reed Gallagher. He's in his late 40s. He's a partner in a real estate development firm. He is from Potter Lake. And he is basically in town under the guise of visiting his parents, Patricia and Clifford, who own Pinckney's Grocery. Pinckney's is like Potter Lake's version of the Piggly Wiggly. It's where most people in town shop. It's like the Potter Lake's first oldest grocery store. Reed's parents own it. So he's there visiting his parents. He's helping out at the store, but really he's there to try to stave his partner off from blowing into Potter Lake and buying up some of that land that Mayor Quincy Adams was selling off in book 1, which is Leslie's Curl and Dye. The people in this town don't want something like a big impersonal corporation coming in to snatch up land and build something big and impersonal that takes business away from the people in the community. So recently, my friend sent me a little clip of a winter festival happening and said, this has to go in your book. And the scene basically wrote itself in my head. So I perfected that scene this week with some cameos from people in town. Sage and Bennett, who are in book 2, Miss Kara Isaacs, who is in all 3 books, I think. We hear about Arlene. She's in book 1 and I think book 3. But she and the Colonel, who she met in book 1, are on vacation. Of course, Mayor Cade Kavanaugh is from book 1. We also need my female main character, Sabrina Ward. She's in her mid-40s. She's married to a banking executive who has been having an affair. The husband of his mistress found them and caught them, and there was a big fight. Of course, someone recorded it, and the videotape is like making its way across social media. So she is taking a leave of absence from work since she works with her husband. She's hiding out in Potter Lake with her aunt, who is Kara Isaacs, who loves herself a bit of gossip. And she is very supportive of Sabrina moving on, as it were, and engaging in activities, if you know what I mean. Aunt Kara lives next door to the Gallaghers, who I just said own Pinkney's Groceries, and Reed is their son. So this week I wrote a little scene where we see some cameos of characters from other books. I did mention that we see Mayor Cade Kavanaugh. He drops by for a little conversation with Reed. I also dug into a little of Reed's undercover reasons for being in Potter Lake, and I'm super proud of Mayor Casey in this exchange. I am not going to put this in any spoilers. It's not going to be in any sample Sundays. I want you all to get this book, read it, and enjoy that scene, but just know that it's coming. Of course, Sabrina is dealing with the demise of her marriage, and she's trying to get over her lying, cheating, soon-to-be ex-husband by getting up under a handsome, sexy piece of man, namely Reed. The flirting between them is really fun to write. What's also fun to write is adults who don't have their own place in town, so they're kind of sneaking around, because who wants the whole town in your business? Reed's almost 50. He's scared of his mama. Aunt Kara is a lovely but busy woman. So writing these two trying to have some privacy in this small town where everybody knows your business, whole lot of fun. Tomorrow, I'm going to be doing another sample Sunday, so be on the lookout for that on my blog. It's booksbydlwhite.com/blog. I was going to do a little audio of Sample Sunday, but I am having so many issues with Riverside that I'm going to skip it today. Maybe on next week's podcast, I'll do a little audio, but I just want to finish this and upload it and edit it because me and Riverside are about to fight. So this week I'll be doing some writing. I have some progress that I really want to make. I need to get this to my editor by at least the 18th. And so I can't really like dilly-dally, dawdle, pussyfoot around, as the people say. I really need to like push through this and then do a real good self-edit and then get it to my editor so it can be out before the end of the year. I wanted to talk a little bit about the tools that I use as a publisher because one of the tools is on sale and I want you guys to snatch this up if you have the means. The first one on the list is Vellum. It's VELLUM.pub, P-U-B. It's 30% off. It almost never goes on sale. Vellum is book publishing software. If you are a self-publisher and you like to typeset and format your own books, Vellum is a need. There are ways to do it free. There are options, but I particularly like Vellum. I bought a MacBook Air in 2016. It was refurb. It was like a years old Mac just so that I could use Vellum and Scrivener, which I actually actively hate Scrivener, but I do use Mac, and I bought a Mac just to be able to use Vellum. This is the first time that I have seen Vellum go on sale. So snatch it up if you can. I use Vellum Press to publish ebook and print books. It has changed my publishing life. My books look so good. Again, it's Mac only. You can use Mac and Cloud if you have a PC. I feel like that gets expensive. Honestly, just grab a refurb MacBook Air if you have the means just to run Vellum or any other Mac only programs. I feel like programs run so much better on a Mac. I honestly haven't heard of any other software that is as easy to use. I know a lot of people use InDesign or Readsy or Drafted Digital has free typeset and formatting options. It's not the same. It's not the same to me. It's not highly customizable, but if you just need to publish a book, it works great. The second tool I use a lot is Dabble Writer. It's book writing software that lives in the cloud. It's a meld between Scrivener and Google Docs. I almost never write in Google Docs anymore because I can move scenes around like I can in Scrivener, but it lives in the cloud like Google Docs. I, for some reason, really hate Scrivener. I think it's just too much. It's too much built into that software, but Dabble is a perfect, like a simplistic version of Scrivener, and it lives in the cloud. Another option is Noveler, just novel with an R on the end of it, same thing. Cloud-based writing software that operates like Scrivener. Dabble is not free. I pay $15 a month. It's absolutely worth it. I don't even feel it. I have a referral code that I will put in the show notes for this week's episode. It gives you a $20 discount on Dabble. I don't know if that's like annually or whatever. I know it's not monthly, but it will give you a $20 discount on Dabble Writer. Absolutely love it. I write all my books in Dabble Writer now. Allauthor.com is another service that I use. It's more of a marketing service. They offer free, paid, and pro options. If you're on a social media site and you see my books pop up in a mock-up or those nice GIFs with reviews, Allauthor does all of those for me. They send me a weekly mock-up, a roundup that I can use, and I just save them all so I can use a nice mock-up when I need it. I can also do 3D images of all my books. Similar to BookBrush, to me, BookBrush doesn't offer enough options for me to pay for it, but it could be a nice companion to Allauthor or Canva. I pay for a pro plan, but the free tier has great benefits like book samples, automatic tweets that pop up 4 times a day that you can repurpose for any other use. They also have promotional tools you can use like review banners, book features, seasonal book mock-ups. A pro plan is $59 for 6 months or $120 a year. Then you can feature a book, I think it's $12 for 6 months. That gives you customized tweets for each book across all of your social media platforms. Well, it's customized tweets, but you can then take and reuse across all of your social. It's customized tweets across all of the social media platforms they have. Then you can take those tweets and repurpose them for any social media platforms that you have. So if you see me on any of my platforms, if you see my books looking good in a mock-up, I don't do any of that. Allauthor provides all of that for me. Some of the tweets I make up, some of the tweets they make up, I take all of those and I use them anywhere for anything that I want. I get all of that from Allauthor for $120 a year. Canva is another tool that I use. I basically live in Canva. I use it for everything. Again, the free tier is quite useful if you're just looking to create images for social media, for your blog, etc. The paid tier just adds on to that with images, video, audio, the ability to resize and repurpose and share direct to social media. I pay, I believe, $99 a year for Canva. The other thing that I don't have noted in here is deposit photos. It is a great resource. Twice a year, Deposit Photos runs a sale through AppSumo, AppSumo. You'll see it pop up on Twitter when it goes on sale. It's $39 for 100 images. That code, those never expire, so you can stack them. You can buy like 4 of them, spend like $100, 400 images. You can use them for anything. They're not the best for like cover images for like people. The people on Deposit Photos are not my favorite, but if you need an image for anything, I implore you to please always use a royalty stock photo because photographers will sue. If you snatch a photo from the internet, photographers will sue you. Don't come whine to me when you get sued. The last one I want to mention is Buffer. It's another tool I use almost daily. It's almost always open. I use it across all of the social media that I manage. I have a lot of social media accounts from like my book accounts, my personal accounts, the fan fiction archive. They all have their own social media presence across Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Sorry, I got a message. I got to turn that. Things are making noise over here. So I pay $25 a month for a Buffer because you pay per the number of platforms that you have connected to it. So I use Buffer to schedule tweets. I schedule Instagram posts. I schedule Facebook page posts. I schedule Pinterest posts. You can also use it to schedule YouTube shorts. The feature I use the most is to schedule a tweet, schedule tweets, schedule Instagram, and schedule a retweet. I have inside my Chrome, there is an extension that you can add in where when you open up Twitter, you are able to add a tweet to your Buffer queue. So if I post something and I don't want to have to remind myself to come back in 6 hours to retweet that, I schedule a retweet with Buffer. I space out things that I want to retweet by just adding it to my Buffer queue right from Twitter. It's a plugin on your browser. It makes my life so much easier. I also hear from authors that they hate marketing because it becomes work. They just always feel like they're working when they open a social media site. And also they feel like people are watching them market their books in real time. And Buffer kind of eliminates that. I schedule it to run and I walk away. I can like get up in the morning and I know I need to retweet this. I need to schedule this. I need to post that. I want to schedule this to retweet later on tonight when more people are on. I do all of that with Buffer. Schedule it, walk away, live your life, come back to social media when you want to open it and you want to kiki and you want to do hood rat things with your friends. You can do all that and all your stuff is just going to run as scheduled. You can react, respond, schedule retweets, enjoy social media for the purpose it was invented for and not feel like you have to log into work all the time. It also makes it so you're not like sitting there marketing your books real time in everyone's faces. Not that I mind at all. I push my books all day, every day. And I be like, I don't care if you are not sick of me. I am not pushing my books enough. But if you're the type of person that's sensitive to people watching you do your thing, there are a number of sites like Buffer. I think there's Later. There's like Social Q, Social B. There's a whole bunch of programs out there that are like Buffer that will let you just schedule stuff. Promo Republic also, I think. I pay for that and sometimes I use that as well. You can just schedule stuff to post. I have a weekly post that pops up once a week to follow me on all my social media sites, plus sign up for my newsletter and follow the Bookcast. I schedule that through Promo Republic. Like literally I go in once a quarter and then I have it repeat for the next 12 weeks. I just don't have to touch it again until it's time for that post to renew. It does not, it doesn't automatically repeat on Twitter, but I can schedule that to repeat weekly, monthly, biweekly, whatever. You can schedule that to tweet however often you like. That's Promo Republic. And that's just like an extra one. It's not like a BFF, but it's like a publishing acquaintance, if you will. I have a lot of tools that I use to publish, a lot of tools that I use to promo. If there's something that you want to know about, if you see something and you're like, hey, how do you do that? I am so happy to share, impart wisdom, give y'all the 411. Just let a sis know in the comments of my blog, any posts that you see. Hit me up on social media. I'm author D.O. White just about everywhere. Let me know if you want me to talk about something in particular that I'm using. Even Riverside, which I use to record my podcast. We're beefing today, but I usually like it. It's usually working fine. So those are my publishing BFFs. Please let me know if you want me to talk about anything else. I am happy to do it. But for now, that brings us to a close. Thank you for joining me for an episode of the Bookcast. I will be back next week with a reading update and a writing update. I may be closer to a release date, but honestly, I won't know until after I am through with editing. So I don't even want to throw it out there. I do know it'll be out before the end of the year. That's all I know. So I have spoken to my editor and I told her it's coming in hot. She's ready. So in the meantime, please enjoy your weekend. Have a superlative week. We will chat again next weekend. See you soon. Bye-bye.